You need to write documentation for your application, for your IT system. So it's not that easy. If you write too much, and we all know you don't want to write too much, it's a lot of work and no one will ever read it. So if you write a book, it will be outdated. Again, no one will read it. Complete waste of time. It's basically as good as having no documentation whatsoever. Having no documentation is also not good. Of course, there is this, oh, we are agile and the code is the documentation stuff. Well, that's all nonsense. The code is, there are some bugs in it. So without documentation, you don't know, is it a bug or is it a feature? The testers can't just look at the code and say, yes, it works. They need to compare to a documentation if you do any testing. And also there are a lot of aspects of your application that are not in the code itself. Think of your firewall configuration or database or whatever it is. Sure, you can have infrastructure as code, but still, there are things you should do the documentation in theory before you implement it. That way you can first think and then do, and you end up with better results. But coming back to what's the right amount, so it's somewhere between a book and nothing. And it's actually very simple, right? One single page, and it doesn't even have to be a complete page. Even if it's only half a page, that's fine. Not for your entire application, but for one aspect that is important to you in that moment. Be it the database, what tables do you have, and how do you use it? Who uses it? How? For what? Make it one single page. And very important, don't write text. Make it a diagram and just add as little text or letters as possible. Of course, if you have server configuration, you might have an IP address or port on your firewall configuration, but make it as graphic as possible. Use diagrams. That way, whenever you come back to that document half a year later, one look, you don't have to read a book or read a text, one look and you know what's outdated. Someone who joins your team, one look and he will understand it. You might need to dig into it, but it's very easy. Once you've understood it, you get back to it, you're in it again. And when there's another topic that is important to you, let's say usability, who are your user groups? What screens do you build for them? What apps? What notifications? Who are they? Make one single document and it will show you also inconsistencies. So you end up with a collection, small collection of single page documents that each one describes one aspect of your application, and try to make each page as high quality as it can be, so people actually will use it. You will use it, someone else will use it. The objective should be someone prints it out and puts it on the wall, because they always want to get back to it. A single page, high quality diagram for one specific aspect of your application. That is the ideal documentation you can have.